Hello Aquarius, Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you, my Aquas? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. This reading is going to be for the rest of May. So let's find out if we can take a little bit of a peek into the rest of May for you, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you all about where to find the extended and the private reads if you're interested in that. And first, we're going to start out with the Psychic Tarot. We're going to hit it up with some other tarot, and this is for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Let's find out what's going on. By the way, we're going to read for career, finances, and love this month. Let's find out what's going on for Aquarius. Career, the heart chakra. Okay, something that's connected to your heart here. We'll talk more about that as we clarify with the tarot. We've got conflict and defeat coming up in your finances here. You're having some sort of a conflict or stumbling financially, feeling like you don't have enough possibly. Tell me about love. Tell me about love for Aquarius, please. All right, choose wisely. Very interesting. I'm going to say the choice is yours when it comes to love. And I mean, it always is your choice. A lot of people give their power over to the other person, waiting and waiting and waiting for them. But I think that you realize that the power is yours. That should you decide that you want to have some sort of a partnership, that really the decision is yours. We see all of these hands here, right? You can go forward. You can shut down, shut off. You can tell somebody no, right? But it's important for you to be at peace, ultimately. It's important for you to be at peace. In the future energy here, we have deception and envy. We have a couple of sevens. It tells me that it feels like intuitive energy, but I feel as though you're hesitating to make a choice, possibly in love, because you've been deceived before. It's like maybe you've been in a situation where you got into a relationship and all of a sudden the mask came off. It happens all the time, right? When we rush into it. And I feel like you just want to feel that out before anything else. I just want to know ahead of time. What do we have here? Memories of love. There it is. Yeah. That's what it feels like here. Memories of love. It's like you have stuck in your memory bank here somebody who deceived you. All right, let's find out what else is going on here. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's talk about career first here and why the heart chakra showed up. You might love what you do. Tell me what the heart chakra is about. All right. Tell me about Aquarius. We've got the Six of Wands. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Aquarius, I feel like you are in a bit of a conundrum, because I feel as though you are somebody who is, well, of course, you're very unique in your leadership, I'm going to say. You are somebody who's constantly, I'm going to say that constantly working on yourself. And what I mean by that is there isn't anybody who can tell you who you are, because I think you know who you are because you've looked over yourself from the outside in and from the top down. The Six of Wands tells me that you are having success in the career path that you're in right now, but I don't know that you're heart happy. And that's the thing. Because the Six of Wands is about coming from the fight or the war. So I think you really fought to get to the place you are right now in your career. But I feel as though you've maybe hit the glass ceiling, or you feel as though you've outgrown the space. Because Eight of Pentacles is the subject matter expert. It's the person who is looking over everything with with a fine-tooth comb, is looking over everything, has learnt all the things, becomes the person that everybody comes to for the answer, whether you are the boss or not. And it feels like with this Ninth Pentacle here, that you're sort of toggling with the idea of maybe you've outgrown this space and you need to plant, to plant a pentacle somewhere else, because this is Nine Pentacles. Right? You feel a little bit like Alice in Wonderland, like you're outgrowing your space. that you are not getting paid to be the boss. You're not getting paid to be the supervisor. But I feel like people walk past the supervisor, walk past the boss to talk to you because they know you're going to give them the truth without all the bullshit. You're not going to try and deliver it quietly and softly. You're just going to say, no, that's a stupid idea. Like I feel like people are not necessarily interested in the corporate mumbo jumbo. They know if they come to you, Aquarius, that you're going to be the person who's going to give them the right answer, the accurate answer, and you're probably going to deliver it in a way that is just very surgical. I feel, though, that they come to you because you are the person who's very careful with details. It almost feels like even the boss might come to you, you know what I mean? But you're not getting paid to do any of this. I feel like you really like what you do, and that's the thing. And I feel like you fought really hard to get there, but it feels like you get a lot of attention because of something that you know. And yeah, the 10 Pentacles is here. It almost feels like you're ready for the next level, is what it feels like in your career. You're ready for the next level. Because to me, the 10 Pentacles is all of it. It's what you plan to be your career for a lifetime. But I also feel like the 10 of Pentacles gives me, in my mind's eye, this Alice in Wonderland thing. It's like now I can't really stay in a space that I've outgrown. It does feel like that. So I feel like you're ready to possibly plant a seed somewhere else. And what that tells me is maybe you are looking for other things that match more in the heart space. Because I feel like these are all pentacles. You're practical. You're a person who gives all the data, the details. You're the person who collects all the information. It feels like you're really, really good at what you do, but I don't think it makes you happy. I feel like you're in a job where maybe people come to you when they're about to take a risk. So maybe marketing, or maybe it has something to do with finances and money because we've got all these pentacles here. It feels like people come to you to get advice when they are going to take a risk. I feel like your boss is probably one of those people, but it also feels like you're really good at it, but you're bored with it. It feels like you're kind of bored with it, and maybe it's time to look into what you want to do for the rest of your career. Let's talk about finances here. We've got conflict and defeat. What is this about? We've got the 8 of Swords. We've got the Ace of Cups. Yeah, it feels like it's connected to your career stuff. It feels like, do I have enough finances to be able to do the thing that I love? Maybe you have to go back to school. Maybe you have to get, a certificate, or maybe you have to get a bachelor or a master's, or it feels like, can I afford to do that? Because if you commit, you're not going back. But what if you get into the middle of it and you can't afford it? It feels like there's a bit of a conundrum here, is that in the 8 of Swords, it feels like you're in this mental prison of not really loving what you do, knowing you could do what you love, but also you've been holding back because it's not yet time, or it doesn't feel like time. You're very passionate about what it is that you do, but I feel like it's all connected here. I feel like you're worrying about the finances. Maybe not worrying, but feeling as though you're a little bit defeated because you feel stuck here for the rest of your life in this career. But I feel like you really want to move forward, but you are overthinking it because you're the overthinking king or queen, right? You're the overthinker, the top dog when it comes to overthinking. But it feels like there is a conflict, I would say. Because you do want to go, but the 8 of Swords is here and holding you back. I feel like there's some worries because this charioteer is carrying a sword. It feels like 9 swords, that there's some worry about discipline financially. Will I be victorious financially? Should I hold back for now, or should I go? It's like hurry up and wait is what it feels like. The Chariot tells me that it's something that's also very emotional for you, and that you will not be happy if you stay here for the rest of your life. That this is always going to be, poking you in the side of the head and saying, hey, you should probably do that. You should probably do that. So that's what it feels like here. But I feel like this 8 of Swords is telling me, yes, you are in conflict with the self. What if I stumble and fall? What if I? It feels like the paralyzation of you saying, if I can't do it perfectly, then I'm not doing it. And I feel like that's because the 8 of Pentacles is here, because you're used to being perfect at what you do. You're a perfectionist. Tell me about choosing wisely. We're going to talk about flip it into love, platonic or romantic. Tell me about choose wisely. I've got the 5 of Cups. We've got the 7 of Pentacles and the Moon energy. So I feel like you're waiting because you really don't know what will happen. I feel like you're a person who loves very practically. You're very practical in the way that you love, but I think you're also very, you have an intention. And that intention is that if I'm going to put all of this time and effort into this, this needs to grow. And so I feel like you're very careful about who you pick as a partner. We've got the 5 of Cups here. It feels like you live in emotional regret about something that didn't work out in the past. So not knowing what's going to happen in the future is the conundrum, right, that you're in about love. It feels like I have regret about past relationships, and I don't want to get into that in the future. But if I don't know what's coming up and things are not as they seem, how can I be intentional or practical with how much time, effort, or energy I'm putting into something? So you don't really want to put the time in if it's not going to pay off for you. So that's why you're here choosing wisely. It does feel like you need to connect to your intuition or in meditation or something like that in order to make the choice, in order to choose wisely. And so I think it's connected to this deception and envy. I feel like you're a person who works really hard in a relationship because your intention is to stay. And you just don't want to have to wait and wait and wait to see what the result is going to be, just to have to see somebody lift their mask and know that they are giving you deception. It feels like you're a person who hasn't been in a lot of successful relationships. Tell me more. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like you're just going to reassess the situation. So I feel like you're probably single, or you're a person who's thinking about becoming single. You might be putting a lot of effort into a relationship if you are in a relationship at this time. And it feels as though somebody's beginning to lift the mask. You're beginning to see someone for who they truly are. And I don't think you saw that coming. So either way, whether you are in the relationship or not, it does feel like you are reassessing the situation, but you can't, it's like, I feel like the illusion is, do I really have to reassess this again? Is this thing going to happen again? It feels more like a scar from the past than it does feel like present energy. So I'm going to say that not every relationship you get into is going to be like this, but also it makes you more careful, right? You can see the ones that are liars. You can see them coming. And I'm going to say that you've honed your skill enough that you can see in the dark. Like it feels like you can see in the dark, that you will detect the deception or the envy. So it feels like you're in this reassessment phase because you're not really sure what you want at this time. All you know is you put a lot into it, so you want to get a lot out of it, and I don't think you're having much success in that realm. Bottom of the deck is Page of Wands. Look, you could be in a talking stage with somebody right now. And possibly it is, or you're getting ready to text somebody and make conversation. So I feel like that's why this is on your mind, and you're keeping all of your feelings under the surface at this time. So I feel like right now it literally is in talking stage, or is about to be in a talking stage with this Page of Wands. There is an attraction here. There's a bit of an excitement about what can we talk about, what can we learn about next. But I feel like you're not really giving them any clue on the surface about how you feel about them or the situation until you're ready to plant the pentacle. And the 7 Pentacles is here. That's where you throw your seeds of intention. You pick the plot, you plant the seeds, right? And the 8th comes along, and that's where you harvest. And so I feel like you want to take it really slow because you've been in the dark before and you didn't notice it until you were standing up right against it here, that this person actually had been holding down a mask the whole time until you finally got into the serious relationship. We're going to go into the extended, and we're going to talk all about this. We're going to clarify all of this and find out what else is going on here, give you a bit of an outcome. I'm going to put down 3 cards here, and for those of you who aren't coming into the extended, sort of give you a little bit of an overview about what we're going to talk about there. Maybe this will be advice for the future, or this might be the outcome. And if you're interested in interested in joining us in the membership area to watch me pull this apart, then please look into the pinned comment. In the pinned comment, once you click on read more, it's right under the video. It's the very first comment before you start reading the comments, very first comment there. Please click on the link there, and you will see that there is a link for the membership if you want to see the extended, and there's also a link for private reads if you're interested in a private read. All right, let's get 3 cards on the table. What are we talking about in the extended? So we've got the Hermit energy. I feel like this is where you are right now in terms of all 3 things. I feel like you're in the Hermit energy at this time. The Hermit energy is really about going within to see if you're in alignment with self. It's also a place that we go in to heal the self, to make sure that we have enough, that we are enough. It's like, I feel like you're a person who's really hard on yourself. We've got the 6 of Cups. So I feel like this is, I don't want to run into what I ran into in the past. I don't want to meet the same kind of person, but in a different body. It feels like you're really looking over the details. It's a perfection thing. Look, you don't know when you need a lesson, and that's the thing. None of us do, and that's why we do get into these karmic relationships, because they bring us lessons. If we didn't have the lessons, we wouldn't know what to do, and we'd never find anybody, right? So I feel like you don't want to rush, I'm going to say, because of the 6 of Cups. I feel like you don't want to repeat the past, and I feel like you're going really slow. I think you first want to find your light, get yourself straight in terms of your spirituality, and then maybe find someone you can be excited about, move forward here. All right, we're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about this. If you want to be in the extended, ooh, look at this. Something's about to move forward here. Something's about to change. Is it your mind? Oh, it feels like it's your emotions. You're about to, I feel, get out and be a little bit more social possibly, but in this stoic kind of way with the Hierophant. You might be in the mood for a commitment, like working toward a commitment, reassessing. Maybe it's time for harvest. I'm not really sure. The illusion is here, and that I think is what's playing on your nerves a bit. All right, so we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where we will be. I will be back because I'm always back. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Thanks, Aquas. Bye-bye.